Watch this in verse 24. It says, and it came to pass on the way at the encampment that the Lord met him being Moses, and sought to kill him. What? Wait. Y'all gotta make sure y'all see that. In verse 24 it says, and it came to pass on the way to the encampment that the Lord met who? Moses, and sought to kill him. Wait a minute, what? So he tells Moses to go down and tell Pharaoh to let my people go, and on the way, God meets him and seeks to kill him. Am I reading that correctly? Oh yeah, you're reading that correctly, but watch what happens after this, because I got to tell you why God does this. Verse 25 says, then Zipporah, which is his wife, took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at Moses' feet, and said, surely you are a husband of blood to me. Verse 26, it says, so he let him go. Who is he? God. God let who go? Moses go. And then she said, you are a husband of blood because of the circumcision. So what's happening here? So Moses, even though he was out of Egypt and even though he was in Midian, Moses had not followed God's command to circumcise his son. And so Moses, God had chosen Moses and told Moses that you're going to go down and you're going to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. And on the way going down, Moses is moving on. Moses is not even thinking about what he has done. And he meets God along the way, and God seeks to kill him. Let me tell you something. God will never, ever, no, not ever, ignore your sin. And if you think for 1 minute that God could not have killed Moses and still delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, he could have done it without thinking twice about it. He did not need Moses. Moses needed him. And if you think for 1 minute that just because God's hand is upon your life and you've been blessed and God has been doing well by you, that you can sin and get away with it, God will meet you on the road and take your life. Ours is a God who still controls life. You know, they don't say that very much in church anymore, so let me go ahead and say it. If you are living in sin, God will still take your life in 2014. It says Moses is going down the road, minding his own business. Now, you heard me say something about apprehension earlier, right? That word apprehension has two different meanings. On the one hand, apprehension means to be fearful or scared or something. But on the other hand, it means to be arrested. So Moses had apprehension in verse 18. But when we get down to verse 24 and 26, he gets apprehended, which means he gets arrested. Sometimes in our lives, when we are doing things outside of God's will and what God desires for us, we find ourselves arrested, apprehended by God. So here it is. You might be thinking right now, oh no, the hand of God is on my life. God is allowing me to do great and wondrous things, and I'm doing all of these wondrous things. Don't you think for 1 minute that God will not knock you down and deal with you according to your sin right where you are, and right, you can have it going good. Moses had it going good. Moses is moving on down the road to Egypt, and he's got the staff of the rod of God in his hand. He has God's authority in his hand, and God is saying, son, I will take your life right here out on this road in front of your wife and your children because of your sin. Don't you think for one hot second that I have not seen or understood what you have done. And just because I call you to do something does not mean that I will not hold you accountable for your foolishness. Just because God is blessing you, just because God is good to you, does not mean that God is going to put up with your foolishness.